But beans are full of both, but it's worth noting that beans are. Hey guys, so it is the beginning of April, a fresh new month, which means a fresh new start. So I just thought I would jump on here today to just remind you guys that although I have lost a total of over 60 pounds, it's like 63, 64 pounds at this point, that originally I lost 20 pounds in the first 8 weeks by eating 2 very specific foods. And dare I say that it was almost effortless. So if you're feeling these spring vibes like I am and you're wanting to kind of jumpstart your weight loss and give it all you got, then you're not going to want to miss this video because I'm going to tell you exactly what I was eating to lose 20 pounds in 8 weeks. All right, so let me just cut to the chase. So the 2 foods that I was eating were beans and potatoes, but it's not exactly just what I was eating. It was specifically how I was eating these 2 foods that helped me get that weight off so fast. All right, so let's start with the beans. So if you're a follower of mine, then you already know how I consume my beans in the easiest way possible. And that is through my fiber protein shakes. Now, these are shakes that I just created on my own by using beans as the base of a shake. We're not talking fruit smoothies or green smoothies here. That's something totally separate. These are specific shakes that I designed using beans that would keep me full, avoid all the snacking that I usually did, and carry me from one meal to the next. Now, before that kind of grosses you out, don't let it gross you out because I promise you, you cannot even taste the beans. But it's worth noting that beans are full of both fiber and protein. But if you're from North America like me, eating beans every day can be a bit of a challenge if you're not used to eating beans every single day. For me, when I think of beans, I typically use them in some type of Mexican dish like tacos or burritos, sometimes a soup, but in the hotter months, I don't really eat a lot of soup. As much as I like soup, I can't really do it because I just hate feeling hot. So those are the 2 main ways that I would get beans in outside of having beans in a shake. But with these shakes, you're getting them in every day without knowing you're getting them in every day, if that makes sense. And the most fascinating thing about beans for me is their ability to keep us full for as long as they do. Now, potatoes are the second food, and I'm going to jump into that in a second. So while potatoes are ranked the most satiating food in the world, beans have their own magical power in keeping us full, which I feel they do even a better job than the potatoes, if I'm being honest. So by having one of these shakes every day, primarily for breakfast, I was getting in those beans every single day. I make these shakes for my kids every day too, so it brings me great pleasure knowing that they're getting in their beans every day. So I quite literally had one of these shakes almost every single day. I would say minimum 5 days a week. So I would just prep my beans, which I have made a video already showing how I prep those beans. And recently I've even taken it a step further where I just prep the whole shake all together, which I also made a video showing how I do that. So I will have both of those videos listed in my description box below if you want to check those out. But anyways, it is super easy, literally the most convenient portable meal that you can ever make. And with the warmer months ahead of us, I'm telling you, it is going to hit the spot. We're talking delicious flavors like birthday cake, brownie, Snickers, coffee crisp is one of my absolute favorite ones, chocolate chip. They are delicious. They are delicious. At any rate, so that is how I got my beans in, and I had one of those shakes every single day. And now the next food I ate all the time in those first 8 weeks were potatoes. Now here's the thing. There is a very specific way that you need to eat potatoes in order to eat them for weight loss. Okay, so before I show you the easiest way to use potatoes for weight loss, in case you are starting to get that itch of wanting to jumpstart your weight loss journey, then perhaps today might just be your lucky day. So as I'm explaining in today's video, I primarily used beans and potatoes to get the 60 pounds off. And you can too, because right now I'm running an incredible special on all of my ebooks, and that is that they're all only $5 for the next 48 hours. And that includes my brand new Spud Skinny, Shake Off the Weight, as well as Zero Overt Fats Part 1 and 2. And basically those 2 books right there were a blueprint to how I got the weight off. So if you want to check out that awesome sale, the link can be found in my description box below. Also be sure to stick to the end of this video as there will be a bonus surprise waiting at the end. But for now, back to the video. So while diet culture has definitely given potatoes a bad rap, you know, they're starchy, they're a carb, all these things that they wouldn't be great for weight loss, that's so far from the truth. They are actually perfect for weight loss. But here's the thing, you need to eat them with no added fat. So of course, if you're adding oil and butter and cheese and sour cream and all these higher fat foods that a lot of us were raised eating them that way, they're not going to be that great for weight loss, right? Obviously. But when you remove all of those things and you eat them low fat, doesn't mean that they have to be flavorless, but it does mean that they have to be low fat. Then they actually are super low in calorie density, making them literally the perfect food for weight loss. Because on one hand, they're lower calorie density, but on the other hand, they literally fill you up like no other food. I don't know one time that I got up from eating a potato meal that I did not walk away feeling fully satisfied. Like, impossible. Potatoes have this magical power about them to just make your stomach feel so nice and full. You know, we're not talking overstuffed, but just nicely full that you want for nothing else getting up from the table. And I mean, on a weight loss journey, that is almost impossible, right? Like, that's unheard of. The idea is that we always have to feel hungry. That is why they are a magical weight loss food, because they're low in calorie density while at the same time not leaving you feeling hungry. So for those of you who might be new to my channel, I recently just did a potato cleanse and I lost 6 pounds in 7 days eating potatoes as my main starch. That's not to say that I was only eating potatoes. I was still having my shakes every day. I was having a ton of non-starchy veggies, but I just used potatoes as my main starch. So instead of eating bread, instead of eating rice, instead of eating quinoa, I was eating potatoes and I lost 6 pounds in 7 days. But it's actually kind of crazy because you don't feel like you should be losing weight eating potatoes. Like, it's kind of a mind twist, if you will. Like, it really feels like you're eating the wrong food for weight loss, but when you start to see the scale go down, you will be just as shocked as me and anybody else that has used potatoes for weight loss. So if you're currently in a position that you're just trying to figure out kind of how to get back on track, or you're wanting to jumpstart your weight loss, then my recommendation would be this. Either try doing some sort of potato cleanse. I made my own version of it. There's a few different ones out there, but mine was simply just to have one of my fiber protein shakes for breakfast and then have lunch and dinner using potato as my main starch and with whatever else I was eating. Simple enough. I didn't have any hard rules. I stuck to that and it still worked. So you could try some type of potato cleanse for even a few days, a week, 2 weeks, whatever you like, and see if that gets things going for you. Or you could just focus on getting as many potatoes in your diet as you can. You know, you could still have your rice, you could still have your quinoa, you can still get the variety in, which that is very much encouraged. However, you could try swapping out some of the less nutrient starches like breads or pastas and try replacing those with potatoes. You're gonna get so much more bang for your buck. You're gonna stay fuller way longer than you would with any of those other foods, and you're gonna start to see that weight come off. So the takeaway from this video is that potatoes will make you full and beans will keep you full. That's how I always have it in my own head. So I know if I have a longer stretch and I need to be, you know, out of the house or something like that, I will have one of my shakes and throw up to even a cup of beans in those shakes to make sure that I'm not going to be hungry and won't need to snack and all of that until my next meal. But when I'm at home and I'm just thinking of something delicious to eat that's gonna make me nice and full, potatoes are usually my go-to. All right, guys, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling so excited and so motivated by the spring weather coming. I don't know, it just does something to our spirits, doesn't it? So I am just so looking forward to the warmer weather, and I hope you guys are too. So again, don't forget about that awesome book sale. It will only be on for the next 48 hours only. It's a flash sale. All my books are $5 right now. That's including my Spud Skinny book that has all those delicious low-fat potato recipes, but still full of flavor. That was actually my challenge and my goal with creating that book, and that was to create recipes that were low in fat but didn't lack in the flavor. Because oftentimes people think that they have to eat potatoes straight out of the oven, straight out of the Instant Pot, which you can eat them like that, and I do eat them like that as well. But let's be honest, that can get a little tiring after a while. So it's certainly nice to be able to whip up some type of potato meal without all the added fat, but you still get a ton of flavor. So if you love potato recipes and you're looking to make them in a healthier way, I strongly recommend you checking out that Spud Skinny book. I put my heart and soul into it, and I love every single recipe in there, and I'm confident that you guys will too. So again, if you want to check out that awesome book sale, I will have the link posted in my description box below. And if you've made it to the end of this video with me, then I am going to be doing a free giveaway to the first 5 people that go down to my description box below right now and click the link to that book sale. You will be getting a free copy of my brand new book, Spud Skinny. So go now. And don't forget to let me know in the comments if you were one of the lucky ones to receive a copy. So anyways, I'm gonna leave the video here. Thanks again so much for watching. Good luck for all of you guys with the month of April. We got this. Let's keep going on our health and weight loss journey. If it's the first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out, and we will see all of you guys in the next one.